Mason, one of the things Paul Maurice mentioned the other day was your ability as a forechecker, and we often hear when teams describe Western Conference clubs as heavy forecheckers. So, do you consider yourself now that prototypical Western Conference power forward?
Sure. I think forechecking's, a big part of getting the puck back and creating offense. And, that's a thing that our line has really, we've capitalized on, whether it's Pro or Stastny and obviously me and Laos, we do a solid job getting in there and just, having a good stick and getting on their body. And then from there, kind of, getting the puck back and creating offense. Like you said, that Western Conference style of, big power forward. I think, we're all trying to add that dimension to our game and be the best forecheckers we can be.
We'll go next to Mitch Clinton from Jets TV. Go ahead, Mitch.
Thank you. Mason, just curious what stands out most about the Oilers power play. Obviously, there's McDavid and Draisaitl, but just in terms of how they move things around and what you guys as a penalty kill have to keep in mind tonight.
Yeah, it's obviously very lethal power play. When you got those two guys on the power play, there's a lot of magic that they can make happen. So for us, it's being really smart with our sticks and our body positioning, and from there, you got to block shots, you got to do the little things, get the clears. So it's obviously a tough task at hand, but one that we're definitely up for. So it should be a good matchup tonight.
We'll go next to Josh Clipperton from the Canadian Press. Go ahead, Josh.
Hey Mason, after college, you obviously spent a bit of time in the AHL. They're getting back going, this week, at least in the Canadian division. I'm just wondering what that time meant for you development-wise, in your first step to being a pro.
It's huge. Obviously, it's the feeder league for the NHL, so to be able to develop in that league and turn into an NHL player, it's great. And to see them finally starting back up again, it's what those players need. You can only practice for so long and get so much better in practice. You really develop playing games, and that's where you take the next step in your career. So to see that league finally getting going is awesome.
We'll go next to Paul Friesen from the Winnipeg Sun. Go ahead, Paul.
Hey, Mason, 1 month into the season, what, if anything, has surprised you around the league or caught your eye?
I would say one thing that's maybe surprising is how different teams have handled the diversity of guys going down with COVID. You look in the States and you see different guys have to jump up in the lineup, and you watch a game and you see names you haven't you don't regularly see. So I guess kind of not really surprised, but I think the way different teams are handling the things that COVID caused. So I think the Canadian division has done a terrific job with it. But you see every couple of days you see on social media another outbreak here or there. But I think the league's done we've done a good job we've done what we can, and obviously we got to continue to get better and get this under control.
We'll go next to Mike McIntyre from the Winnipeg Free Press. Go ahead, Mike. We can't hear you, Mike.
There we go. Sorry about that. Mason, you guys have become must-see TV the last couple minutes of games early in this season. Obviously lost the one in the dying seconds the other day. You had a couple other late losses. You've also pulled out a couple games with late goals. Any thoughts on maybe why we're seeing games come literally right down to the wire in some cases?
I think that can just go to what our division is. And, you play a team 3 nights in a row, you kind of figure out each other and what they're good at, what they're bad at. So, it's like a mini series, and usually in a series, you got a lot of tight hockey games. Obviously we want to clean up things in the last minute and don't get scored on. Obviously easier said than done, but it just goes to show how good this division is, and anybody can win on any night.
And final question to Kelly Moore from CJOB. Go ahead, Kelly.
Hey, Mason, just going back to the forechecking aspect, with this Edmonton team in particular, they're, at least in the North Division, their defensive unit has been as involved as any offensively. So does that require even more of a head on a swivel type of thing for, in your role, say, compared to when you're playing a Calgary or an Ottawa?
Yeah, anytime, they've got an active back end, it's really important that you don't turn over pucks in the wrong areas in the offensive zone. And you also have that responsible high forward in the zone. So from there, it's just, making the right reads and playing hockey. But you always want to be responsible in the offensive end of the ice so it doesn't end up with an odd man rush going back at you, especially when you have a team that has defensemen jumping up into the the 4 hole, trying to get that extra man on the attack. So yeah, definitely you can counter that by playing smart and keeping the puck, below their tops of circles and just creating easy offense down there.